Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. This is Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and it's a movie review for your weekend. So we have the chaotic and colossus meeting of Godzilla x Kong, the new empire. So yes, so people who do not know, who have lived under a rock, who haven't seen anything, we have a story that carries on from Godzilla versus Kong from I think 2021. You have Kong who lives in Hollow Earth, so there is a portal that can basically go through to almost the center of the Earth where he lives, and he's been exploring it after the battle with Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla that we saw. There has been a research facility set up in Hollow Earth to look after Kong, and why Kong searched for other survivors, because there was some skeletal remains that he found in the last one. And Godzilla is on Earth, so basically you have the two creatures apart. They don't fight each other because they're not in each other's territory. Godzilla is on the surface, taking out any of the titans he needs to that interferes with him, and you have Kong in Hollow Earth doing his own thing. And this is where the story is. You have several of the returning cast from Godzilla and Kong, and if you can't remember that film, you have three main casts. You have Eileen, played by Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry as Bernie, and Jaylee Hottie by Jai. These three characters were featured in the previous one, and they were linked to Skull Island. Something is the young girl basically is been adopted by the mother, and she looks after her now, even though she researches it. Bernie, he's kind of been shunned a little bit since the previous one, since he helped him save the world. And then they all coming back together. And basically, there's these pulses that are going off, and they're not sure what's going on. It is causing havoc with their equipment down under the surface, and then obviously you have Godzilla. It's throwing him off a little bit as well. So and then this is a story of the two. Basically, it is Kong. He's on a mission to find stuff. He comes across, unfortunately, a kind of evil monkey, as you've seen in the trailer. Unfortunately, due to the powers that he has and the connections he has, it ends up being a big battle that they have to bring Godzilla and Kong together, and they have a big fight, and obviously the good guys win, as you would normally know. That is the gist of it. There was nothing after the credits, which I was a bit surprised. I thought they might maybe this is the end to that franchise in the Monster World verse. It does feature Monarch, and I've only halfway through the series of Monarch, so I don't know how close it relates to that. But I did thoroughly actually enjoy this movie, which, as you will see in my face, is actually a pleasant surprise. I've struggled a bit with movies of this year, and I think this is one of the first ones that I have been very pleasantly surprised. So, spoiler warning goes up. Sit back in your seats and let's get into it. So yes, so we have the story. The story starts off. Obviously, you have Kong being chased by the kind of lizard things, which you see in the trailer. He managed to survive, but he has an infection tooth that brings him to the surface. That's where you then get to re-meet up with some of the human characters, and that he gets the tooth pulled and he gets a fake one put in. This is kind of the starting of the melding of human technology and the beasts, the kaiju, the monsters, because obviously we know Kong gets his big fist later on, so I believe that's all to set up for that. Anyway, Kong has come to Earth. There is a bit of concern because obviously Kong and Godzilla don't exist in the same kind of worlds. Godzilla is on Earth. Kong is under the earth. Obviously, Kong gets repaired, and then he goes back to Hollow Earth because the station that has been monitoring him, unfortunately, seems to have lost signals. This takes the humans all together to come along to figure out what's going on. There also is these patterns that they're seeing, and the daughter and Bernie, he is brought back in to try and decipher it, and he thinks it's some sort of message. And so you have the humans go in with Kong into Hollow Earth to kind of explore, and this is kind of where the main focus is. It is a lot on Kong, and I think that works really well. Godzilla, you can see he's upset. He kind of goes and has a battle in Rome, defeats it, ends up sleeping in the Colosseum. Then at one point he kind of gets agitated, goes to a chemical plant, absorbs some energy, and then goes to fight, I believe in the South Pole, North Pole, somewhere near the equator or something, Tiamat. So this massive creature is at a point where loads of the world's magnetic energy correlates, and obviously this is a strong point. Godzilla goes there, defeats Tiamat, and then goes, sleeps and hibernates with all its energies accumulated. And you see Tiamat's pink. Obviously, it's where Godzilla then has this mutation for later in the year. That is kind of about 3/4 of what Godzilla actually does for this movie, which doesn't bother me so much. I like it that it's based on Kong. So then obviously we're into Hollow Earth, we're into the humans, and they're going around Hollow Earth. You also have this new character by Dan Stevens called Trapper. He's quite fun. He's the guy who took the tooth out and helped. He has this kind of weird hippie kind of Ace Ventura style to him. So as they're going along, they're following Kong to this or following Kong's process. Kong at this minute has come across some new apes. Basically, when he fought these dogs, a ridge opened and there's like a cavern. He goes into it and he comes across a few apes that start attacking him, and then he has this little ginger ape that you've seen in there that attacks him as well, which is quite good off the bat. For what the trailer is, and I only kept mainly to the first trailer, it doesn't give much away, and this is what I think is brilliant about this. If you just watch this first trailer, there is so much surprises waiting for you, which I think they did better than they did in Mechagodzilla and everything else. But yeah, this little monkey attacks him, and it is quite funny that he grabs this little monkey and then kind of uses it as a bat to slap some of the other monkeys around. I was in absolute hysterics of that. Really, really great. So then obviously the monkey kind of surrenders to him and takes him back to where the Skull Crusher big monkey is. Why that? Humans find the Iwi tribe, so they live in Hollow Earth. They have been kind of the guardians of it, and these kind of sounds and that they're getting, these spectrums that have been sent off, these waves are actually a distress call from them to basically say that obviously it then retells you the story of that Skull Crusher was there many moons ago. He wants to rise to the surface and take it over. Godzilla came and basically imprisoned him. Unfortunately, now the humans are there and these portals are now reopened. You are given a opportunity for them to come back, obviously, until Kong walks into Skull Crusher's domain and they have a bit of a tussle. They're not really aware of it. Kong unfortunately does get defeated because Skull Crusher has another Titan at his disposal. Again, it is hidden. It is only seen a little bit in the second trailer. So, let's say if you've seen the first trailer, brilliant. For me, it was very much a surprise. So it's like Timonu. Oh no, Shimu, I think it's called. I thought it was Shiva. Basically, it's like kind of a dinosaur that shoots ice. Obviously, Skull Crusher, he has this as his. I think it's Skull Crusher, or the evil monkey basically has it, has one of its crystals to basically control it. They fight Kong. Kong manages to get away with the help of the little monkey, but he is severely injured on his hand. A few monkeys chase him. Kong manages to survive all of them except one, who sees the humans, because that's where Kong is taken to, and obviously it's then a kind of battle, realising that this evil monkey and this big frozen dinosaur are on their way to basically destroy Hollow Earth, and they need help. The humans do what they can. They're the ones that equip it with Kong with the fist, based off Gypsy Danger, which I didn't realise it's from Pacific Rim, which makes so much sense and actually is a nice little nod. While they're doing this, they entice Kong to go to the surface to bring Godzilla with him. While they're doing this, the young girl, Jay, you realise she is kind of ordained to be there, and the reason why she's ordained to be there, another thing that they held really back, is basically she activates the inner Iwi tribes, a kind of cocoon, and Mothra is reborn, which is great. Obviously, she is queen of the monsters, and obviously then you have Kong go to the surface. He unfortunately gets into a bit of battle with Godzilla when he's trying to get him. Mothra turns up, sorts them out, and basically the three of them go down, and then you have Skull Crusher, or the evil ape, on his frozen kind of dinosaur, fighting Kong, Godzilla, with Mothra helping out a little bit, and it's absolutely chaotic battle, and how they kept a lot of this secret good. Really loved it. You have anti-gravity stuff there, so this stuff being thrown around. I know in an animation where you see the Kong and Godzilla come down and run together is a bit silly. Yes, there is a little bit of animations like that, but yeah, anyway, Godzilla and Kong prevail, beat the evil monkey, free the ice dragon, and then kind of everything goes back to normal, obviously, and then Kong has his own kind of tribe because the evil ape has enslaved a lot of his ones, so everyone kind of gets a happy ending. So that is it. What did I think for this movie? I'm going to rate it 7.5 out of 10. Now, people will know this is a franchise movie, so it's never going to get a 10. It's lucky to get a 9 if it's amazing. I thought and was very surprised how good this movie was. Overall, the story is really good. The reasons why Godzilla changes colour, the fusion by the fists and all this stuff, all of it is explained. It is explained and mostly makes sense. There's some bits about the fists, like he has this injection stuff in it, and I think it's a numb arm for him to be adaptable for it, but it cures frostbite. I think was a little far-fetched. The little chemicals with anti-gravity, again a little bit far-fetched, but we're in a world of monsters on Hollow Earth and something like that, so I think you kind of have to check that at the door when you watch these types of movies. Overall, I think the animation was really, really good. There was a few scenes that didn't seem right. The animation was a little bit off. Kong from far away seems very black, but when you zoom into him, he's a bit more grey and a bit more older. And I like that they aged in the fact that then Godzilla gets powered from another monster and kind of where the powers be, and that turns him pink. That made, all of that made sense as the story was going along. All the characters and all the people all fit right because you took lesser characters as well. It gave more time for the monsters, which I think most of us really, really want, especially now the monsters are very much established. The fact we got to see other monsters around the Earth, and we got to see, more monkeys. The fact you have, these monkeys turn up, but a lot of them are evil and they attack Kong and you don't see it and stuff like that. And I think works really well, but how, they're kind of, as I say, with the two thing, everything is there, but it has kind of a logical reason for being there to lead to something else. And I just think whoever came up with the movie, the script and everything, just had a common sense, it's like, this is the story, this is what I want to tell. I will take these little characters that have already been established, which is, I say a lot on films, if you're going to have characters front and centre in a movie, feature them in a previous movie where they will have some dialogue, so you get related to them, and then when you step them forwards, they're not much. Plus, obviously, it gives smaller actors a bigger time to shine, stuff like this, and it helps them with their lives and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think I can sing enough praise this. Did have very low expectations. I will give it that. So maybe it isn't as great, but I absolutely thoroughly love this enjoyable movie, the action adventure. I'm a bit sad that it seems like it's kind of the end for the Monsterverse, and maybe it may not be, but it looks like it could be. But it is up there definitely on my fun movies to have watched this year, and it wasn't even in my top 10, so that goes to show you what movies can be like. Have you seen Godzilla x Kong the New Empire? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma. I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and I shall see you in the next one.